everyone, welcome back to the B-Movie Bunker. Today we are looking at Lloyd the Conqueror. This is from 2011, brought to us by Michael Peterson. We have the story is it's three friends who are basically, I don't know if it's duped or forced into playing in a LARP because of they need the grades, and their professor or teacher of the class is also known as Derek the Unholy, who is kind of the villain of the LARP, and if he doesn't get more people to play, they won't have a big end-of-the-year fight to see who is the champion and king of the LARP, which he wants. So he needs to recruit more players, and he does it by getting these guys to do it for grades. Yeah, part of the problem with this film is that for the amount of material that it has to joke with, it often takes a lazy approach and just goes for the cheap, kind of sophomore bathroom humor. I mean, it is a niche market again. This is LARPing, and live action role playing, which there's been a kind of surgence in films about this over the last few years. And surgence, I mean, meaning that there were like none before, and there's a handful now. But it's still a niche group that you're trying to appeal to. And I noticed that fans of these films, or I shouldn't say fans, people who watch these films fall into one of two groups. For the most part, there's the people who don't know anything about LARPing who watch this for whatever reason. I don't know that group of people, but the people who are LARPers or know what LARPing is fall in two groups. There's the one group that just seems to be salivating for anything, any kind of, I don't know if it's like a justification of what they do is not just one big joke, and they gobble up anything that people throw at them, regardless of whether it's good or not. And this is not a pure judgment on this movie. The second group are people who they like what they do, and they enjoy doing their LARPs, and they want something that reflects more of what their LARPing is. This movie kind of falls in between the two. You've got some good moments where it actually shows that, a LARP can be fun, and there's creativity involved in it. And this movie at times shows glimpses of that creativity. The casting is part of the letdown, is that you have some good comedic talent in this. You have Derek the Unholy, who's played by Mike Smith from Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles. He's Bubbles. And you've got Brian Posehn, who plays, he's the guy who runs the game store, as well as he's like a wizard who helps maintain the LARP. So you've got, some good comedic talent here. Actually, one of the funnier scenes involves Harold Williams, who plays a Trekkie, or Trekker, depending on what you want to say, because you can't just have one genre of fandom that you're poking fun at. And this is all poked fun at, I believe, in a this is us type of way, so it's self-deprecating. It's not a look at those fucking moron LARPers. That's not what this movie is about, for the most part. I think at times the humor comes across as what we do is stupid, and I think that wasn't intentional. In some ways it comes across, and someone outside that medium of LARPing and knowing what it is might go, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And I think that's part of the problem with the film, is that there's too much inside. This is scale of 1 to 10. It's that secondhand story that someone's telling you that may have been really, really funny or really poignant at the time it happened, but you had to be there. You really had to be there to truly understand it. Even if you know what they're talking about, in this case, a LARP. I know what a LARP is, but I feel like there's something that I missed, something that I had to experience to really understand everything that was going on. So, like I said, it's if you really like LARP, and that fantasy, role player type of movie, this isn't a horrible film. It's an okay film. So you can still check it out if you just want to see what they do with it. And there are likable characters in this. I mean, I love what they do with the steeds, the mounts, the unicorn, the centaur. How they do that is actually pretty funny and it's creative. I've never actually seen that done in a LARP, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I haven't done a lot of it myself, so there are things that I am out of the loop on. But it just, as I said, at times the film seems to just kind of get sloppy and lazy with itself and just says, well, people know what we're doing. A lot of people don't, though, which is part of the problem, is a lot of people don't. And suddenly when you get lazy like that, it's like you don't have a respect for the source material. So that's all I really have for this one. I mean, like I said, if you like this type of film, if you liked the Gamers movies, which I think are actually better than this, Dead Gentleman, I think, is still probably the pinnacle. Or Zero Charisma is also a very good-ish one. It's in that above average as far as this type of movie goes, with the whole gaming aspect. So But I'm babbling now, so that's all I have for today. Till next time, you stay safe out there in the wasteland, folks.